Hey guys, what is up? It is Avery, and welcome to Teendom Talk Show, the talk show for the kids, the teens, and everyone in between. So I hope that you guys have had a fantastic week. Mine has been pretty good. So let's see. This week I had half days of school all week, so I was kind of bored a good half of the day because I didn't really know what to do with myself. But overall, things are going pretty great. The weather here has been getting better considering that I'm in Chicago. The snow has been starting to melt, and also the weather was really warm in Chicago standards. So that was pretty well. Today, I am so excited to bring you guys a very exciting episode. But first, I just wanted to let you guys know that this episode is sponsored by Eating Well with Chef Cordell. I told you guys last week that we got our very first sponsor, and that still stands. So for this episode, I just want to let you guys know that the teen after school virtual cooking camps that he is hosting start this week, and it's really exciting. So you still have time to sign up, sign your teenager up, sign yourself up if you're a teenager. The total fee is $300. The early bird fee ended last week, and additional children in the house can participate for $125. Parents are welcome to attend with no additional charge, so feel free to cook with your kids. And if you want to sign up, then afterwards go to his website, which is chefcordell.com. It is also linked in the Facebook and YouTube description, or you can email at info@chefcordell.com for more information. So with that, I'm very excited to start this week's episode. If you cannot see my shirt, I'm going to stop screen sharing for a moment so you guys can see my shirt, HBCUish. So before I tell you guys exactly what we're getting into, I'm pretty sure you probably know, I just first wanted to say that the inspiration for this episode, with it being not only the 40th episode, but also the last episode of our Black History Month series special. Me and my mom were trying to decide whether or not to call it series special or special series. We went with special series. That we are talking about HBCUs. My dad went to an HBCU. My grandma, who is 81 years old, went to an HBCU. And I learned from watching their relationships how their classmates became kind of a family. And I wanted to talk about the great institution of HBCUs on the show. So if you guys do not know, I am going to screen share again. But there is a huge history to HBCUs that I want to be able to share with you guys. And we get to talk to an entire panel today. HBCUs were founded mainly in Pennsylvania and Ohio right before the Civil War in America. And they provided Black youths with the opportunity to be able to go to school and get an education, considering at the time we were not allowed to be able to go to a lot of primarily white institutions, colleges that still exist today. So that's the main reason that they were founded, and they have a very diverse culture. And I'm so excited to be able to speak to a whole panelist full of people that will be able to give you a little bit of an insight about the HBCU experience, about some of the fantastic things that their schools are doing, and more. So I'm going to stop screen sharing and I'm going to stop talking, and I'm just going to let these people in because those are the people that you are here to see tonight. And I'm really excited. So I'm bringing them all in now. Okay, I'm going to see. Can they all hear me? Okay, I see that some of you guys are still connecting to the audio. So can you guys hear and see me okay?
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay, hi. Okay, I see some of you guys are still connecting now. But hi, it's so great to see all of you. How are you?
Good, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm really excited to be able to speak to all of you today. I know that we still have a couple of people popping in and out, so we will see them if they're able to join in. But first, before we get started, I just wanted to ask each and every one of you just to basically introduce yourselves, tell who you are, what school that you attend or attended, and basically just give a brief synopsis so you guys can go in any order that you want. Anyone up for the challenge?
I guess I'll go first.
Okay.
All right. Hello. My name is Zariah Mundy, and I'm a civil engineering student attending the illustrious North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University, and I'm the class of 2021. So I'm graduating in May this year. I'm very excited and happy to be here tonight. Hello, everyone.
Hi, that's great. I'm so excited for you. You're graduating this year. Okay, let's see. Who wants to go next?
I can go next.
I'll go.
Oh.
Okay.
Who was that?
Okay, how about Joshua, you go first, and then Terrill, you can go.
Okay.
All right. Well, first of all, good evening, everyone. My name is Joshua Strong. I am a 2014 and 15 graduate of the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, the best HBCU there is, and I majored in computer science, and I got my master's in computer science and information technology, and I currently work at UAPB as an instructor in the math and computer science department, and I'm the advisor to several groups, and I handle social media.
Oh, okay. I see you. I see you. My dad went to UAPB too, so he's really trying to
He's a great baby.
yeah, he's really trying to convince me. So, okay.
Well, come on.
I'm like, we'll see. I'm 13, so I have a little while to go before I make a final decision. But he has been trying to convince me hard since I was like 4. So
13.
Your father's a smart man.
yeah, very smart. Okay, all right, Mr. Terrill, do you want to go?
All right. I'm Terrill McCray III. I also attend the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. And like he stated, it is the best HBCU there is. So I would encourage you to come as well. My major is mass communications, and I'm actually a sophomore. I graduate 2023. And I'm on the football team right now, and on the field, I'm a redshirt freshman. So I have a lot to look forward to this year. And I'm also from Chicago, Illinois. So
I see you. I'm from Chicago too. So
yeah, my mom and my dad grew up with your dad. So
okay. See, I'm connected to everybody here. I love that. And also, I just want to say congratulations for everything that you have coming up. Okay, let's see. Miss Brianna, do you want to go?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I am a 2009 graduate of Xavier University of Louisiana, and my degree is in mass communications. And I'm also on the executive board of the Chicago HBCU Alumni Alliance.
Ooh, okay. Snaps all around. Let's see. Someone else just popped in the waiting room, so I'm gonna enter them really quick. Okay. Let's see. Auntie Camille, do you want to go?
Hi, everybody. I think I'm officially the old head of the group. My name is Camille Amin. I'm a 2004, not 14, but 2004 graduate of Spelman College. I was an economics major, management and organization minor. I'm originally from Chicago. I'm back in Chicago now, and I work at Ariel Investments, where I do client service and investor relations.
Oh, okay. And then afterwards, I also see right here, Colin, that you were able to pop in. So, hi, how are you?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yo, well, my video not on.
Yeah, I'll give you a second. Wait, hold on.
All right, can y'all see me?
Yep, we can see you. Hi.
All right, what up? What am I supposed to say?
Just basically like a synopsis, like give a description of you, like just who you are, what school you go to.
My name is Colin Cornelius. I'm 17. I'll be 18 on Sunday.
Okay.
I go to Little Elm High School. I'm about to go to Jackson State though, so I'll be graduating 2025. So yeah, I'm finna be up at Jackson State. That's about it. That's the rundown.
Oh, okay. And happy early birthday. Yeah.
Appreciate that.
So let's just jump right into it. So I have a couple of questions for you guys. And if you want to answer them, then you can use the raise your hand feature, or you can just unmute. I don't really care which one you use. So my very first question that I have for you guys is, what is the history of your school that you attended, will be attending?
I can go first because I think mine might be a little bit more unique in certain aspects. So as I mentioned earlier, I attended and graduated from Spelman College, which is in Atlanta, Georgia. It was founded in 1881 by Sophia B. Packard and Harriet E. Giles, two teachers. one thing that's different from Spelman is that it's an all women's college, whereas I think everybody else's colleges are co-ed. So that's one thing that makes Spelman unique. So from just about that. Another thing about Spelman is it's a part of the Atlanta University Center, which is a collection of colleges that are all really close together. So that's Spelman, that's Morehouse College, Clark Atlanta University, and Morris Brown, and ITC, which is the Interdenominational Theological Center. But the Morehouse School of Medicine. So all of those schools together is a bit of a collective. So that's something else that's different about Spelman and the schools all in the AUC.
Okay, that's something that I definitely didn't know. I remember when I was little, I got to like take like a outside tour of Spelman, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's so pretty here. And then I realized like there were so many schools that were close together, but I didn't know that it was a part of like a certain organization. So that's very unique. It's very unique. Would anyone else like to chime in?
Well, I'll chime in for UAPB. UAPB was founded in 1873 as Branch Normal College. And then later on in 1972, we joined the U of A system and changed our name to the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. Here at UAPB, we've had a lot of historical figures come through. We had a lot of pioneers come through this area. At one point, Martin Luther King came through here to speak at graduation. We've also had pioneers come through who were in the mathematics field, as far as the medical field, and other areas like that. So at UAPB, we have a long history of helping people become who they always dreamed they would be.
Okay. And once again, UAPB kind of close to my heart. One thing I see that Miss Amanda Kirklin just popped in, so I want to give her an opportunity to speak, maybe just like give like a brief synopsis about yourself. So hi, how are you this evening?
I am doing good. I'm doing a lot better. As Josh knows, I just came off of isolation for COVID. So I just got released today, so that's why I'm a little tardy, because until now I haven't been out the house for a whole month. But I'm doing, I'm doing a lot better, and it is a pleasure to be here with you all.
Yes, I'm so excited that you were here. I'm glad that you're feeling better. I hope that you're safe and doing well. So do you just want to give like a brief synopsis about the school that you'll be talking about today? I see like the UAPB green screen in the background that you have here.
Okay, so UAPB is everything, and that's all I got to say.
I love that. Just to catch you up to speed of the question that we're on now, it's just basically saying, what is the history of your school? So that's what we're on right now. And Joshua, he just speaks. So is there anything that you just want to be able to add really quick before we go to our next person?
Well, I'm not exactly sure what all Mr. Strong said, but we hold UAPB in high regard because the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff is the first oldest HBCU in the state of Arkansas. So that's why I said it is everything, because it is the opportunity of a lifetime for a lot of people in Arkansas that did not have that chance. So like I said, UAPB is everything. It's everything to a lot of people, including my whole family. I'm a legacy student. There are many legacy students on our campus. So we have a rich history of educating the best and the brightest. And the history that we have on our campus is like none other. We've had some very influential people to come through our campus and to step foot on our campus. Martin Luther King gave commencement speech for UAPB, and Michelle Obama did commencement speech. So that's some of the history, some of the recent history, as well as some of the history from back then. UAPB is a place where dreams are developed, where minds are developed. So I'm just very, very proud to be a part of the faculty and staff, and also the alumni base.
Okay. I see you. Okay, let's see. Miss Brianna, would you like to speak and add on to that question?
Sure. So Xavier is the only Catholic and HBCU in the country. So that is a distinction that we have. Also, our past president is the longest serving president of any American institution. He served us for 47 years. And then we were a location for the Freedom Riders as they went around the South for back in the Civil Rights Day. So that's our history.
Oh, wow, that's very interesting. And I find actually that's something that I didn't know. I feel like I'm learning a lot right now. Okay, let's see. Zariah, is there anything that you would like to say?
Of course, I gotta represent my Aggies. A&T, we are the number one, no, actually, we're the largest historically Black college in the country, and we are the number one producers of African American engineers as well. Aggies they push us. I mean, you're working, family, everything. I believe the great Reverend Jesse Jackson is alumni of Aggies of NCAT. So, I mean, it's a lot of opportunities here as well. And I hold A&T at high regard.
Mm-hmm. You should. That's something very interesting. I'm learning a lot right now. I don't know how many times I'm going to say this during the show, but I'm learning a lot just from that one question. And one person, I know that we talked a little bit about UAPB, but Terrill, is there anything that you would like to quickly add about your school as well that Mr. Joshua were not able to add already?
Well, I'm the young head, I guess, here from UAPB, but I am familiar with a lot of the knowledge and information both Amanda Kirklin and Joshua stated. So I feel like they did a really good job. And I'm also, like, my parents both went here. So kind of alumni. So it's kind of not too much I can hit on. They hit all the great points.
I see. But yeah, that's something very interesting. Thank you guys so much for answering that question. And one thing that I want to be able to ask you guys is, how do you feel personally that HBCUs differ from a PWI? How do you feel like they differentiate themselves from each other?
Well, I can say something about that.
Yeah, of course.
I actually feel like HBCUs actually have a better support system and teachers that truly care like a lot. They would like, I also feel since the classes are so much smaller, they can actually focus more on that individual or focus on getting that person help. Because with me being a sophomore now, I've really came to the conclusion that my teachers do care about my grades. And I care about my grades as well. So I make sure I keep in contact with my teachers, and when I need them, they are available and they make sure they're available. And if they weren't available at the time, they would leave an email or send me a message and let me know when would be a better time to reach them. And so I really love how you can connect with the teachers, and that really motivates me to want to keep learning and keep wanting to show them that I'm not gonna fail myself. When you have that support system, after coming from high school, going to college, you're pretty much by yourself. So you have to learn how to cope with different things. You have to learn how to grow up, because you don't have your parents on your back. Did you do your homework? Did you study for the test? No, you don't. But at a HBCU, I feel like those teachers take that role of a parent because they really appreciate and they care for you just as much as they care for their kids. And it shows when they're teaching. But I really do feel like that's a big difference.
That's really interesting. And I feel like that's a very important part of education too, especially the teacher's presence being there with them helping you get through your education. So I really like that. I feel like that's something that's very interesting. Would anyone else like to add on to how they think that HBCUs differ?
I can add on. I think Terrill was spot on. I firmly believe that the professors have a vested interest in seeing their students succeed because it's a reflection of them. Whereas maybe at a larger school, the professors are just there to do their job, or they're there to get tenure or to help, do research to write their book, or, become this famous, academician or something like that. But the professors are certainly there with the students' best interest at heart. Also, I think there's just a sense of family, even though at HBCUs, you know, everybody, or for the most part, everybody is of African American descent. We're not all the same. So there are common threads amongst all of us, and culturally they'll see some common threads, but once you go there, you'll meet people from the Caribbean, you'll meet people from, you know, Europe, you'll meet people from all around the diaspora that you might not have even realized that they were Black people, or you might meet people from Idaho, and you're like, I didn't know there were Black people in Idaho. So it's just a rich sense of togetherness where you get to appreciate your differences, but also your similarities.
That's interesting. Yeah, because I feel like the sense of family that's there, specifically because the example that I have to look at is my dad, and the sense of family that I feel like he's received at the HBCU that he went to is phenomenal. And he went there like a real long time ago. So, well, not really long. I don't want to.
It wasn't that long
like
ago.
He's watching the show. I'm not trying to get in trouble after this, but so it wasn't that long ago. But just as those relationships have still stayed there, I find it pretty interesting. Would anyone else like to add on?
I would definitely like to add on, as Camille and Terrill said, there's a strong sense of family with HBCUs. I look at Josh like he's my brother, and we're faculty and staff. All of my students, they're an extension of me. They're pretty much my kids, and Terrill knows I'm scholarship coordinator, and I work with all the scholarship students, so I fuss at them and often make them go to class, and, you know, fuss at them all the time because we're the example of excellence for our community. And so we have to carry one another. There's often said, you know, the saying about UAPB, when one of us falls, all of us falls. When one of us succeeds, we all succeed. And so we look at each other as if we are one family, and we have to definitely carry each other, because in this day and age, with it's pretty much, you know, PWIs versus HBCUs, it's us against everybody. So we have to pretty much, you know, be there for each other, and it's a sense of family. I've never been to a PWI. I am from, like I said, a family full of Golden Lions. And so when it came time for me to choose a college, it was all HBCUs. And then in the back of my head, and you know, my mom was like, okay, I know you're going to UAPB, but go ahead and you know, put in these other applications and see what see what's going on with them. And so it's just the love that we feel on our campus. As soon as you step on our campus, it's just, you can feel the atmosphere of love that's there.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. I don't know why. This is just making me so happy just sitting here talking. Okay, I see Mr. Joshua, you raised your hand.
I did. I was just gonna add on to what they said. Like, I just think from me, and me and Amanda, I know we've both done this. On our campus, like it's like a family reunion almost. Like, it's like you meet your family that you met for the first time in over I don't know how many years, and it's the instant bond once you meet each other. It's like, oh, you went, I went to this school. Oh, okay, well, cool, we cool now. So what we're doing today, this and the third. Like, you're gonna meet somebody, you're gonna have a good time, and then we're all gonna pull each other along to make sure we succeed, not only in the classroom but socially as well. Or let's say that we go to Walmart one day and you don't have enough money to cover your total cost. That's fine. Somebody help pay for it. I know I've done it myself several times for students. I've taken them to Walmart and say they didn't have enough money to get whatever it is they're trying to get. I would go in my own pocket and get it. Or say we had Chick-fil-A on campus or Pizza Hut. They like, I want some pizza, but I ran out of flips. Okay, I'll pay for it. Don't worry about it. Because I know there's the other bigger things that you have to worry about on campus. And then Terrill knows this as well. Like during the summertime, during the Lions program, I'm there on campus with them, hanging out, talking, having a good time. And whether it's trying to help them understand something or we just hanging out, it's just like we're there. We want to make sure the students are okay. We want to make sure they're having a good time and let them know that we're there for them.
That's something that
I paid for many lunches. And I had quite a few paid for. Josh has even paid for my lunch. I paid for Josh's lunch. We're lunch buddies.
Oh, I love that. That's something that I find really cool, especially the family bond that's there. I'm like, I want to be able to go to a college where I'll have somebody single-handedly pay for my lunch. That resembles family right there. I need somebody to do that for me. Okay, let's see. Zariah, I see that you have your hand up.
Yes, there were so many good answers, but I'm just gonna put my 2 cents in. HBCUs are just with the culture in relation to who I am as a person, as a woman, African American woman. Like, why not? That's the difference right there in relation to me. Just with trying to find yourself in college, what better place, to be than an HBCU, where you can be safe and unapologetically Black, just that, and also the sense of family, the type of network that you can accumulate over the years is amazing. Like everywhere I go, I see a fellow Aggie at internships, at job interviews and stuff like that. You're gonna always see one of your own because it's like a brotherhood. Once you an Aggie, you always an Aggie. So it's just like that. And once again, with the culture and the history, that's what differs a HBCU to a PWI. You don't have to go to a Black organization or the BSA or somewhere. You're already with and surround your people. You don't have to find a place to be comfortable because you're there.
Yeah. That's such a great answer. I feel like it's so important and it gives you like a great sense of community. So I really like that. I really like that. And lastly, Brianna, is there anything that you would like to add?
Yeah, I just wanted to add, so it's a lifelong commitment of pride and everything, and it's just the understanding. So no matter what HBCU you go to, there's an understanding of what you went through. It might be a little bit different from mine, but I still, have the same pride and same respect for you. Also, job applications coming through. If I see, UAPB or Spelman on there, I know that they, got their stuff together just like I would any other Xavier, right? So, yeah, that's the good part.
I wanted to say one thing.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
My sister actually graduated from North Carolina A&T, so I'm kind of familiar with NCAT as well. Her name is McCray. She's number 3 on the basketball team, and I've been to a lot of games there. Mm-hmm. I've been on the campus. I've spent a spring break there, so I can say that HBCU, you're going to see a lot of Aggies everywhere you go. That's true. I have one at my house, so that's another thing.
She's a smart woman.
Oh, she's very smart. Yep.
Wow. These are all such great answers, and I feel like they help actually lead into my next question. Some of you guys answered this already, but I just want to hear from you guys. When you guys were thinking about what school are you gonna attend? Why did you think, I'm definitely interested in this particular school? Why did your mind automatically go to, I want to go to this school? Like, what was your thought process with that? What made you want to go to this HBCU?
I'll jump in first. Okay. Like a couple of other people, I'm also a legacy Spelman alum. My mother graduated from Spelman. My 2 older sisters graduated from Spelman. So I always had knowledge of Spelman growing up. When it came time to applying to colleges, I was very familiar with HBCUs, but I also, went on college tours at PWIs and Ivy League schools as well. But one of the main differences that I noticed at some of the PWIs and Ivy League schools versus Spelman specifically is when I was asking the students during my college tours, why they picked the school or what they liked best about it. For some of the PWIs, they were only talking about the end goal. They were talking about, well, it's going to look great on your resume. And, when I graduate, it's, going to put me in this position to do X, Y, or Z, which is good, which is very important. But when I talked to the students at Spelman, they talked to me about how much they loved being there. They loved the experience at that current time. So it wasn't, for them, Spelman wasn't just a means to an end. They were actually enjoying and soaking in all of the opportunities that they had as a college student. And that's something you want, because you're going to be there for 4 years. And so you really want to enjoy your time there and not just make it through something so then you'll have a certain degree on your wall.
Okay, because that's something that I didn't know, that they were just mainly talking about, the end goal, and like you want to focus on the present because you're going to college, you're not going directly to your career. You're trying to go get a higher education. So that's something that I find very interesting. Would anyone else like to add on?
I can add on. As a legacy student, I can actually say that I grew up on UAPB's campus. My mom was a nursing major, and so I used to go to class with her. And there were people that are still on the campus that knew who I was. That's very important because I know, as faculty and staff, of course, I know who I can run to for any kind of assistance, but I know who I can run to as far as the people that knew me when I was smaller, and if I need outside assistance as far as, faculty and staff or something like that. If I need somebody to just reminisce with or anything like that, it was always going to be UAPB for me. When I was in high school, I did get other opportunities. I got scholarships to other places, but it was always going to be UAPB. I was home, and then there are a lot of other factors that influenced my decision. I had a father who was a type 1 diabetic, and then I'm also a type 1 diabetic. So my doctors were here, my grandparents were here, my family was here. So I didn't have to travel and take a plane to go back home if something happened. Or if something happened to me, my parents didn't have to take a plane to get to me, so they could wrap their arms around me and let me know that everything was going to be okay. Because seeing parents and seeing family when there's an issue that arises is a lot different than just having a phone call. And I can really tell you that those phone calls don't do it justice, because I just got to see my mom for the first time in a whole month today. And so, we laughed and we talked and everything. And, she was really upset that she couldn't see us, but, it was for her benefit and for our benefit. And so that just translates it into, when you have your family there, it's a lot different than, just being able to take a phone call. So it was always UAPB for me. And then the logo is really cool. So,
Yeah, the logo does it justice. Like, it helps you clarify that decision.
Well, I guess I'll pick up after, because mine is kind of the same. I pretty much grew up on UAPB campus as well, because like I stated before, both of my parents are alumni here. And I also have a great support system here because my grandfather's side of the family lives here in Pine Bluff and in Little Rock as well. And one thing I can say, just like dealing with this, like we just had a snowstorm that we did not know anything about, like we didn't see that coming. And Arkansas is not prepared for snow, or we're not prepared if the water goes out. But since I had a great support system, I was able to go to a family member's house due to everything that was going on. And so that was one of my main reasons why I picked UAPB, because I knew I had support. Like, yes, I know I'm grown up. I got to learn how to live on my own, but it's always good to know that you have help, because you never know if you're going to struggle or not. So you have to have a plan B. You can't always be like, I'm going to be all right by myself, when you don't know what can come, like what can happen. And so I have a lot of support here. And I came here pretty much whenever it was a homecoming, I was here. So I knew what it was like to experience a homecoming at UAPB. My mom was a Golden Girl, and my dad was a football player. So it's like that type of environment is what I like to be around. And they're also both in a fraternity and a sorority, which I got to see Greek life as well. So it's like, it feels like home. And that was my main goal. I wanted to feel like home away from home, because I'm all the way from Chicago. That's 9.5 hours away. And I know I'm making a big transition going so far, but it doesn't feel as far because I still have family here.
I like that. I like that answer a lot. And once again, going back to the great sense of community that I feel comes from HBCUs. Let's see. Zariah, is there anything that you would like to add?
Sure. I already knew I was going to go to a HBCU. I really didn't have a choice. I have many family members who are alma maters of many great HBCUs, specifically my parents, going with them every year to their homecoming, to their alma mater, Central State University, Wilberforce, Ohio. So I was a marauder for like majority of my life until I started researching and seeing how great A&T's engineering program was. And so that's what made me choose A&T, was their engineering program. I visited the campus, their community, the people. I was able to start talking to incoming freshmen such as myself early on. So I was already starting to get acclimated to Greensboro. You know, I'm 12 hours away. And this was a huge, huge like wake up call for me, trying to grow up, manage money, be responsible, be resourceful. So A&T, HBCUs in general, it was like that for me from the start. And I already knew the sense of family and the culture that they provided. So that's why I attend A&T.
I remember because if you don't know, her mom's actually my reading teacher. So she was telling us about it in class.
Exactly. You know, Greensboro 4, the sit-ins, how much marauder paraphernalia is everywhere in the classrooms. They rep their university hard. And they give all the credit of who they are and how much their HBCU cultivated them to who they are today. So, you know, why not? That's why I am so adamant about it. So, yeah.
I find it because when you learn about the different history that also goes into the college that you want to attend, or where your parents attended, I feel like it drives you towards there a lot more. So that's something that I definitely just want to look for. Hopefully when I have the opportunity to go to a college or university, then afterwards I can just look deep down in the history and figure it out that way. Because I feel like that's a very
Yeah, because especially if you look up to your parents, you're going to want, you know, some of the similar things and experience that they had, you know? So that's pretty much where my decision came from.
Yeah, that's a great answer. I really like that. Miss Brianna, is there anything that you would like to add?
So I guess I'm different from everyone. My mom is a Howard grad, but I was always on the fence. And actually what kind of pushed me over was someone who went to a PWI kind of spoke to me and was like, there's so much other stuff that you have to worry about at a PWI than at a HBCU. You have to worry about the students and if they're trying to like do something to you, and the teachers and the faculty. And there's all this stuff that you can't focus like primarily on just being a student, doing your work, having fun. And so that was the big determining factor for me.
Oh, okay. That's something that I find very interesting. And it also like leading back to our last question, like the difference, there is a lot more stuff that you actually have to worry about at a PWI that I feel like a lot of people don't consider. So that's a very interesting factor, something that I didn't realize. And lastly, Mr. Joshua, is there anything that you would like to add about UAPB?
Sure. I guess my answer is completely different. I always say that UAPB chose me and I didn't choose UAPB. Because when I came out of high school, I just wanted to go to any school that offered me the most scholarship money. And as a band member, I went to the PWIs and I auditioned. And, you know, they said, oh, you're a great player, but the most we can offer you as a non-music major is $500. I was like, that's not enough. That's not going to cover school. That's probably going to buy a book and a half. But, you know, I listened to my family because my mom went to UAPB, my uncles went to UAPB, my grandparents went to UAPB, and my cousins went to UAPB. So I was like, well, okay, well, let me go ahead and audition for UAPB. And I auditioned, and maybe 30 minutes after I auditioned, I was putting my horn up. The band director said, hey, I want to award you a full tuition band scholarship. And I was like, are you serious? Like a full tuition band scholarship? And at the time, I'm in high school, and I'm already late for my class. So, you know what? I just ran out the band room and ran straight to my mama's classroom. Like, Mom, I got a full tuition band scholarship. And she was so happy. She stopped teaching class. The class celebrated, but then I went on back to class. So that's why I always say UAPB chose me. And then all the opportunities that I've had since I've been at UAPB have been phenomenal. I've been able to present research around the country. I've been able to travel with the band, travel with research. I've been able to meet some good people, like Amanda and Terrill. So UAPB chose me. I didn't choose UAPB, and I'm happy that Dear Mother, as we always call UAPB, chose me.
Snaps to that story. I love that story. Like, it's just like, oh my gosh. I find that, I lost for words right now. Very hard to explain the feelings that I'm feeling, but that's a great story.
I understand.
UAPB chose you. Like, they literally just said, no, you're coming here, and like snatched you over there. And it was a great opportunity.
Literally.
Experience.
UAPB,
Like, literally.
UAPB really
Like, literally.
chooses you.
It does. Like, literally, the summer before I reported to band camp, like maybe 5 days before band camp, my neighbor, who is also a UAPB grad, he was like, hey, what's your major? And I was like, computer science. He was like, well, my roommate from college, he's over the STEM Academy down at UAPB. Let me call and see if I can get you in. He made the call. Next thing you know, a couple of days later, I'm packing my bags to go to UAPB for the STEM Academy. Like, so like I said, UAPB chose me. UAPB chose me. So I'm happy that they chose me, and I'm happy that I can give back to the students. So now I'm doing some of the same things that they've done for me for other students.
I see. One just snaps to that story right here. And one thing that I definitely want to be able to talk about is, as all of you know, we're in a time of COVID, so college life looks really different. And one thing that looks very different, I feel like, is tours, specifically college, HBCU tours. And one thing that I know that Miss Brianna has is a little bit about the HBCU tour going on there. So would you like to talk about that to our audience for a little bit?
Sure. So we started the virtual HBCU tour last year in April. We thought it would be cute. We'll get 100 kids and it will be great. 40,000 registrations later, we had a massive undertaking. And so we've done about 4 college tours so far last year, and then we're doing our first one April 10th of this year. And so it's a little bit different. What we do is we have multiple rooms so you can hop in and out, and you can go to different schools. You can talk to recruiters. They do on-site admissions, some of them are doing auditions, every type of thing. But you can go around, you can see them, you can get to know all of these great HBCUs, and all of them are different. So you want to make sure that you hop in and out. And if you're looking for more information, the website is hbcucollegetour.com.
Okay, I may ask you to repeat that website one more time before we close out, because I feel like that's something a lot of different people will be interested in. I know that I'm interested in it, and I'm not going to college or university for a good 5 years. So that's something that I feel like a lot of people will be looking for. And is there anyone else here that would like to talk about certain things that their HBCU that they're talking about today is doing in particular? Because I really want to just be able to highlight all of the great things that your schools are doing. So is there anyone?
I think Josh and I can kind of talk about the same thing Brianna talked about. UAPB is still doing in-person tours. The in-person tours are limited. You cannot, because we are really, really COVID weary. We're, looking at COVID so strong, and we're trying to abide by all of the rules and guidelines that there are out there to keep everyone safe. So we are still doing in-person tours. We do have a service on our website that you are able to go out there, pick a date, and there are certain guidelines and things that you have to do before you come on campus. But we are still doing in-person tours. We do virtual college fairs. We're doing, virtual tours if we have to, along with our famous Lion Fever Day. So this is the first time Lion Fever Day is going to be virtual. And if anybody has ever heard of UAPB, if you know anything about UAPB, Lion Fever Day is one of the biggest preview days. Usually we would have about anywhere from about 4,000 students on our campus at one time. And it's usually during the first part of spring. Well, with COVID, we had to switch gears and figure out how could we still have the big draw of Lion Fever Day, but keep everyone safe. And Lion Fever Day just brings so much as far as knowledge. You're going to get to talk to a wealth of people. There are recruiters that will be on here. I myself will be talking about scholarships, but I'll let Mr. Strong talk a little bit more about Line Fever Day because he's part of the logistical team. So.
Okay.
Yeah, so normally Line Fever Day is just this big day on campus where, well, not even just on campus, but in the city of Pine Bluff itself. The whole city looks forward to the day where everyone comes out, they set up their tables to pass out information, to let you and your parents know, and your whoever brings you down, to let you know that once you drop your kid off here, they're going to be in great hands. So you're talking to different departments, you're talking to different banks in the city, or different phone companies. Walmart has came out. Tyson Foods, who is headquartered here in Arkansas, they provide food for the students. We have food trucks. And the best band in the land, also known as M4, or the Marching Musical Machine in Mid-South, comes, they play music. The Greek stroll, the choir sings, the cheerleaders do cheers. All that happens on Line Fever Day to give you just a taste of the UAPB experience. Terrill, did you attend Line Fever Day?
Yes, I did.
Tell about your experience, because there's only so much that I can say. But coming from a current student, it means different.
Yeah, my experience was actually pretty great. I came down here and it was a lot of kids actually, but it was a lot of people. And so I got to meet different people and actually be from different states. And I was like, man, I thought I was the only one that was coming so far just to this day, but I knew about it because, my parents, they knew of it. And so just to see that so many people took this, like this one day so big, like, and so seriously, it was like, man, I gotta put this one as my number one on my list because it shows that a lot of people really want to attend these events that UAPB is having or whatever the case may be. But it's just like the way we were vibing and all the different activities that we had, it made you want to come to the college. It made you want to find out more. And, that was actually a great experience for me. So.
And I'll say this, Homecoming and Line Fever Day are two of the biggest events on our campus. I remember one year Line Fever Day was so big that the fire marshal told us we could not let anyone else in or they were going to have to shut us down because we had that many students on our campus in our gym trying to get a sneak peek at what their future college experience would be.
Well, for a fact, if you have someone telling you, telling you, oh, can't let any more people in because if not, you're going to have to shut down. That's when you have a big crowd.
Yes. Matter of fact, the following year, they made us move it to the football stadium.
Oh my. That is a large crowd, like a humongous crowd. So I see those are some big events that UAPB has. Let's see.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything that you would like to add to talk about a little bit about what Spelman's doing right now?
I know we're having virtual tours and things like that, and they just recently started welcoming students back onto campus. But I am far removed from being on campus right now, so I don't know all of the specifics and things like that. In terms of things that have changed since I graduated, they have added a bunch of new majors and concentrations. So we had a dual degree program when I was there where you could go to Spelman for 3 years and then go to another university, like maybe Georgia Tech or another institution in order to get 2 degrees, a dual degree. But now they've expanded that into also being able to have sorry, my kids might be coming in, a nursing, a nursing program. Also, they have a partnership with Morehouse School of Medicine now, so you can get a neuroscience degree, different law schools, so you can get your bachelor's and a JD. So those are all really amazing things that are new to Spelman.
Okay. All right. And lastly, Zariah, is there anything that you would like to add just really quick before we get into our last question?
Yeah, sure. I think A&T, we're doing virtual tours, and I know freshman orientation is definitely virtual, but people are still on campus. I mean, campus life isn't, what I know it to be, but people are still there out and about every time. We're actually having a game tomorrow versus Central, North Carolina Central. So hopefully we get to turn up a little bit. I heard somebody talk about their homecoming. Aggies, we have GHO, the greatest homecoming on earth, one of the biggest homecomings ever. I mean, you can come, just vibe with people. Everyone's laughing. We shut down Greensboro. Okay. Everything is blocked off because so many alumni come back and they feed into the university. It's a great time. It's the hugest family reunion you will ever come to. And just, yeah, A&T, our activities are, spring, what is it, Aggie Spring Fest and stuff like that. There's so many events that goes on. You can just walk out every time and just see somebody on the yard, in the caf, meeting up, or just out, just vibing. That's the type of family that we have here. So I hope I answered your question.
Ooh, did. You guys have me so pumped, and I'm 13, and you guys have me pumped about certain things that are going on at your HBCU. So that's something that I find very cool. And also for you, Miss Amanda, wait, no, who said it? Yeah, Miss Amanda and Miss Brianna, I'm gonna ask you guys, can you repeat a little bit of the stuff that you guys mentioned so people can go over to those specific websites and be able to check them out before the show's over. But I want to ask this one very last question, just so you guys can each maybe chime in a sentence or two, is for kids my age, when selecting a college, about including an HBCU in their selection, what are some certain things that you would say to look out for, some certain things that you think are very important when choosing a college, specifically to people my age and a little bit older? What's some things that you guys would say to them?
Definitely look and see what is available as far as the majors. If you have a major that you are leaning toward, make sure that whatever school that you select has that major. Definitely look into the scholarships, because there is a lot of money that goes unawarded. And that's something that can help you become debt free. That is something that you definitely want to do. And looking out for those scholarships definitely will help you do that. Make sure that wherever you're looking at, definitely you want to visit that school. Make sure it feels like home, because I have an 18-year-old son and he is continuing the legacy of, going to UAPB, and he pretty much grew up on our campus too. I used to take him to class with me. So you want to make sure that wherever you're going feels like home. You don't want to get there and be uncomfortable, go to a place where you can't be yourself, and spend your college career or at least a year, and that's not where you want to be. And then you have to switch gears, make another selection, and then get started all over. So wherever you're leaning towards, whatever school that you're trying to go to, definitely make sure that it feels like home, you're comfortable there, you can be yourself. You can get help wherever you need it. And that's one thing about UAPB. There's pretty much nowhere that you cannot turn that the help is available. So you want to just thoroughly research those colleges, make sure that everything that you want in a college is there. This is something that you're going to pay for. You are paying for your education, not your education. I mean, it's your money, even if it's coming in scholarship form. So make sure that you thoroughly investigate your, your college of choice or your colleges of choices, because it's an investment. You're putting money into it, and then ultimately, when you graduate, you're going to go out into the world, and you want to make sure that you're prepared. You want to make sure that you select a major where you're going to do something that you love.
Mm-hmm. I see. Zariah, I see you have your hand up.
Yes, I think the first thing that I would say is please start early. Do your own research. Don't rely on your counselor to tell you what they think is right for you. You got to know what you want. And when you start early or hopefully have a major in mind, I always encourage people to have a major in mind because this isn't a PWI. You're not getting money. You're not getting scholarships just because you're Black. This is merit-based, talent-based, or anything else that you have to offer. So I would say try to start with a major in mind because there's a lot of money in the specific colleges that don't get awarded as well. So people don't always think about that, and the odds are in your favor because you're not competing against everyone in the school. I'll also say visit the campus. The campus has to fit you. So you must visit it and see if you like the community, if you like the city around it, if this can be, this is where you see yourself in the next 4 years growing. And yeah, just follow social media, just look up, just check up on the schools, try to find people and connect with them who already attend or who will be attending with you, and just try to get a feel for it. I think that's
I totally agree with you. I feel like those are very important points. Like start early. I've always been told that to start early. It'll help you a lot more. Let's see. Auntie Camille, I see that you have your hand raised.
I think one advantage that students today have over when I was applying to school is that you can connect with current students, you can connect with alum very easily through social media, emails, things like that. So just as everybody said, definitely reach out to current students, to alum. I'm sure that there might be either Facebook or Instagram groups that you could probably join of other prospective students or students that are interested in the different schools, where you can ask very candid questions. You can ask specifics like, what is the food like? Small details like that. Also take advantage of early summer programs. This is more so once you are admitted, but try to take advantage of summer programs that the schools might offer, because that will just give you an added advantage of being able to be comfortable once the school year actually starts. You might already have a group of friends because you spent the summer meeting people, taking classes with them, and things like that.
Okay, I see connections. And yeah, it is a lot easier now considering you got like Facebook, you got Instagram, you got Twitter, you got Snapchat. You have a whole lot of different things that you can use to connect. And that's something that I find very interesting. Okay, let's see. Miss Brianna, would you like to add anything?
Yep, to jump on what Camille said, the Chicago HBCU Alliance, there are HBCU alliances around the country, and we are connected to all of the local alumni chapters. Those chapters have their own scholarships. They have their own events for students when the school will send recruiters to that city, and those recruiters will connect with that chapter. So make sure that you're connected there. And then also strategy. So I did mention before, but Xavier is the #1 in producing they're going to kill me for this. The #1 in producing African American doctors. And we also are one of the top producers of pharmacists. So if you want to be a pharmacist, you do 2 years of undergrad, 4 years of pharmacy school, and you're a pharmacist. There's schools like that all around where there's like a pipeline of engineering, nursing, whatever you want to do. That makes it so much easier. So you're not doing 4 years of undergrad and then going somewhere else. So make sure you have a strategy of how you're gonna, what you're gonna do when you get to school.
I'll chime in on something.
Okay, yeah.
One thing, everybody had great examples, but one thing that I've learned from going to college and being so young as of right now, just because you don't really know what your major is when you first get to college, don't stress, because you might go in with one, like thinking you want this to be a major, but it might change. Like before I even went to UAPB, I was in the STEM program as well. And I changed my major to mass communications. So it's like, did I think I was going to change my major? No, I did not. But I went into UAPB with the intention of being something that I thought I would love, but I found interest in something else. So keep your options open is what I would say. Don't just be tied down to one thing, because maybe the classes might be a little too hard for you and then you might stress yourself out, but you don't have to do that. you have the freedom to do whatever you want to do and whatever you're comfortable with. So just don't be tied down to one major.
That's a good thing to say, because one thing I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, when I go to college, I'm gonna stick with this one thing, and that may alter a lot based off of like your experiences there, or you just maybe like unlocking a passion that you never knew that you had. So that's something that I feel like a lot of us younger people, we definitely need to consider. And lastly, Mr. Joshua, is there anything that you would like to add?
Well, here we are, saving the best for last. But what I would like to say is, like, based on my experiences, let your college choose you, let your university choose you. You know, go on the college tours, talk to the professors, talk to the administration, talk to the students. But ultimately, the decision is yours, and you'll know when a university has chose you. Just like I knew when UAPB chose me. So you'll know. And if you have questions, reach out to the people working. Like, I'll give out my email. My email is strongjay@uapb.edu. If you have questions, feel free to email me. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. So, look for people like me at whatever university or HBCU you decide to go to, and that way you can start developing that one-on-one relationship, that bond. So that way, you kind of have an idea of what you're getting into when you get ready to go to college. Okay. And then also, I want to go back real quick. You said how has COVID changed life on campus, right?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like we didn't kind of answer that question. I think we just jumped to something else. But for us, we stopped doing our tours for a second, but now we're back doing the tours. But from a student life point of view, it's changed a lot. We stopped letting students go to the games. We used to have fried chicken Wednesdays in the cab will actually turn into club cab, where they'll have a DJ in the cab and everybody wearing their finest to go get some chicken. Or they'll be out in the den, strolling, having a great time. Catfish Fridays has changed, and then the dining experience has been limited to like 20 minutes. So COVID has affected us a lot. And hopefully, once we get past COVID, everybody get vaccinated, that's going to get vaccinated, and this stuff is gone, we can go back to normal life where we have fried chicken Wednesdays with the DJ. Shout out to Bruce, DJ Bruce. He's always the DJ on campus turning us up. Or we can go back to Catfish Fridays, where you still got their catfish and fries, and they out here in the den having a good time. So COVID has changed our campus life, student life a lot. Yeah. Oh, and then another thing, my office is always full with students. Always. Amanda's office is always full with students. But now, literally, I have an 8x8 office, but yet there's like 20 people in my office.
Oh my
They're not seeking help, but they're just hanging out. Am I lying, Terrill?
No, you're not lying.
They just come up there and hang out.
Right.
Hang out.
But now you come to my office, there's only like 2 people there. Or one person, me. So COVID has affected us a lot.
Yeah, I can tell. And I feel like it speaks for everybody here when we say that COVID has changed a lot of things with HBCUs. But overall, hopefully, when all of this pandemic mess is over, things can get back to normal. And I just also want to be able to say thank you so much to each and every one of you for being on this fantastic panel today. Snap or clap it up for yourselves, because you guys did a great job. Thank you so much. I wish we had more time to talk, but I hope that each and every one of you stay safe. And also, I'm gonna ask Ms. Brianna again, will you give out the website so people can check out the virtual tours?
Yes, it is hbcucollegetour.com.
Okay, thank you so much. I hope that the audience is able to enjoy everything that you guys had to say, and thank you for just giving us a HBCU.
You're welcome.
Yes, period, guys. Thank you so much. I hope all of you stay safe, stay well, feel great, live life, and yeah, thank you so much. All right.
Thank you. Great job.
Thank you so much. Bye, you guys.
Bye.
All right.
Thank
Have a nice night.
You too. Okay. I'm I'm so happy. I feel like that went really well. I want to thank each and every one of the panelists for being on with me tonight. It has been a great night, but we have one last special thing going on. I have one of my great new friends, Raven, coming in. She has written a poem about Black history, specifically us Black girls. I'm going to ask her a couple of questions, and then afterwards we are going to showcase the poem for you guys to all see before we close out the show. So I'm going to admit her in right here for this last quick little segment. I'm going to see. Hi, Raven.
Hello.
Hi.
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 Can you see me?
Yep, I can see you great. Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How about you?
I'm doing really good. I'm so glad that I get to be able to speak to you today. How was your day?
My day was great. And I also want to say thank you for having me here.
No problem. I'm so excited that I have the opportunity to be able to speak with you tonight. I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions really quick before I show the amazing poem that you wrote. So, first question that I want to ask you is, what was your main inspiration for writing this poem? Why did you write this poem and what is it about?
So my main inspiration, well, I like to write poems like on the side besides like school and all that stuff. My main inspiration was one, because it's Black History Month.
Yeah.
Two, because of all the stuff that's going on right now. And my friends Quinaya Orlan and I put all of our struggles together that we were thinking about, and it inspired me to write the poem.
Oh, okay. And all three of you are actually in this video that I will be showing in just a couple of seconds. And you guys did a phenomenal job. And thank you for highlighting these issues going on and then bringing them to light in a positive way, because it's very great, and it's written beautifully. You did an awesome job with that.
Thank you.
And the last question that I want to be able to ask you before I showcase this fantastic, phenomenal video is, what does Black History Month mean to you, and why do you feel as if it's very important?
Black history, well, first I want to say what Black history means to me. Black history is world history. It's a lot of history. I think it's just more than Black history. Our history is so important. And in some schools, this history is never taught. And during this month, I feel like I have an opportunity to show what I have to people and use my voice. I think as children, we are the next generation in line. So we have to do things to make a difference, because a difference can't be made on, its own. And so Black history to me is important, because this is where we came from. These are our roots, our ancestors, and they fought for us. They were slaves. And I feel like this is something that is important and something that should be cherished.
Yes, it should. You could not have explained that better. Snaps all around. You explained that perfectly.
Thank you.
And Black history is so very important. And I feel like, oh my gosh, my mom always gets on me for saying this. Important. It is so very important to all of us. And it's more than just Black history, but it's world history. And so glad that you were able to showcase this and your fantastic poem. So I'm actually going to turn off my camera and mute myself, and you can do the same as well, just so the audio will play better. But I'm going to show you guys this fantastic poem. So let me show it right now.
I'm done. Me too. I was already done. Power to the people. No corrections to what was said. When will y'all feel the power? I'm Black. I'm Black. I'm African. Basically Black. Our skin is darker. And that's a fact. Maybe different in one's mind, but we keep learning how to strive. In a world that judges us by the eye, but for us, we know there's no surprise. Through this world, trying to get by, as strong as we are, we still survive. Being Black shouldn't be a struggle. Being Black should not be an issue. you think it is, let us give you a rebuttal. Being black isn't a choice.
We come out this color.
We love it. So please don't judge us.
We are no different from you.
Still have chromosomes like you. Still have a mouth just like you.
Still have a life just like you.
Black is beauty.
We take pride in that.
Do you have a problem with this? Don't say anything. And let's be fair. Please don't touch my hair.
Do I have a voice?
Yes, you do have a voice. And if they say we don't, we all have a choice.
My name is Quinaya, not Quinosha or Quintita or whatever you're trying to say.
If you don't know how to say it to faces, you can ask us. It will please us.
You don't even know how much better that would be.
I don't treat you wrong, so you shouldn't treat me. And just because I may speak proper or white,
or whatever color you may say.
Let's be colors. Let's fix that face today. All we want to do is let you know how we feel.
It's in this video we made today. We had to keep it real.
We can ask a favor, and it's not a lot to ask. Treat us right.
Treat us fair.
Not a lot to ask. We want justice. We want respect. And that's not a lot to ask.
Thanks for your time. Thanks for your patience.
Thanks for taking this view. And if you agree with what we said, treat us more like we treat you.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Every time I watch that, it makes me so happy and so elated because you guys did a phenomenal job. I need to clap for you right now.
Thank you.
You did a phenomenal job. Your friends did a phenomenal job. And I just want to thank you so much, not only for just being on this episode and closing out Teendom for us tonight, but also just for using your voice to be able to amplify Black voices. I feel like it's so very important. And you, at a very young age, are doing that, girl.
Thank you so much. And I just have a message for the viewers. If you have a voice and you have a message, use your voice because we're the next generation and we're the ones that have to make this difference. If you feel a certain way at your school, speak to your teachers, speak to your parents. Parents is a great resource to speak to the stuff about. They know a lot about our history. Have confidence within yourself and be able to do the things that you love to do.
Yes, 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 yes. You could not have said that any better. And I hope that all of the viewers were able to hear that message. If you weren't, rewind, like replay, get it in your minds and use that. Thank you so much, Raven, for being on the show with me tonight. I will text you after this. I'm just so glad that I was able to have you on. And congratulations on such an amazing poem.
Thank you so much.
Okay, I'll see you later. Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Bye. Oh my gosh, guys. I will not only be posting that video on my social medias if you guys want to be able to see, but also just thinking about how far that we have been able to come as a people is just making me so very happy. And watching that video, it just made me realize that amplifying Black voices, not just during the month of February, but throughout the entire year is so very important. So I want to be able to thank each and every one of you for watching the Teendom Talk Show Black History Month special series. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and be back next week for more episodes. It will not be a part of the Black History Month series, but we will be continuing to be on the grind, and we'll make sure to bring you guys content that I hope that you all will be able to enjoy. So make sure to subscribe to Teendom Talk Show on YouTube if you haven't already. Make sure to follow Inspired Melanin LLC on Facebook so you will never miss a single Teendom Talk Show episode. And also make sure to follow me on my personal Instagram, AveryK_official, so you guys can get updates about Teendom Talk Show, be able to learn about the episodes firsthand, and also maybe even get some sneak peeks of my life and everything else that I'm doing. So with that, I will see you all later.